And when it comes to 3D and 2D, texturing is very essential, as the concept of texturing is fundamental to 3D and 2D production, as this is one of the core pillars of making a model or a scene look believable, functional, and visually engaging. And having the right textures that works for you is actually something that a lot of people get to struggle with, as without textures, even the best of 3D models or even 2D designs may actually look flat or unfinished. It doesn't matter whether you have those shadows or even the shading looking good, in most cases dealing with the right texture is actually what helps define the material. And today we're going to take a look at some interesting places that you've possibly heard of and a lot of places you possibly may have never heard of where you can find amazing looking textures. And with that said, let's dive right into it. ResourceBoy is an amazing platform where you find a lot. Actually, this made it to the top of the list because it has a lot more and accommodates for different kinds of textures that you can get. The good thing is these textures, you can literally get most of them for free. As if you simply go over to the texture page, you would notice that literally all the textures that you have here are totally free. So depending on the kind of texture that you're looking for, you're definitely going to find something here. For example, if we're looking for shattered glass, these are 4K textures that you can work with, and you can simply go ahead and check these ones out. These shattered glass can be used for both tools like Photoshop or different kinds of 3D products that you're working on. We've also got the brick wall textures, and all 200 high quality brick wall textures come as 4K maps. And these maps can be used for various kinds of stuff. Again, these are totally free, which means that you can simply pick them up and start working with them. They're exceptionally high quality and they do come with a lot of cool stuff that you can work with. There's just a lot of categories that ResourceBoy actually offers in terms of texture. Whether you're looking for reductive textures or possibly you're looking for smoke textures, splatter textures, grunge textures, noise textures that you can use for a lot of cases, crumble paper textures, or even some ransom note textures, which currently comes with over 1,000+ stuff that you can literally work with across different tools, then this is also going to come in super handy in this regard. So for those looking for textures that you might want to overlay for your next scene, or possibly you want to use them in terms of designs and stuff like that, then ResourceBoy definitely has something for you. Interestingly, ResourceBoy doesn't only offer textures, as the name implies. ResourceBoy, they offer a ton of resources, and these resources includes fonts, which comes with a lot of fonts. And if you're into design stuff, you might definitely want to consider taking a look at their mockup stack, as this stacks a lot of mockups for design-oriented persons. If you're into brushes, you'll definitely find a good number of brushes right here. Patterns that can be used as textures are also available right here. And you can also find some gradient stuff that you can use as textures. Again, depending on what you're going for, these textures are hands down super amazing. And ResourceBoy definitely has a lot in stock for those looking for free stuff, as you can simply come through, grab most of these 4K textures or even the PNG ones and start working with them. Next on our list is OpenGameArt.org. And this is our second best because of the versatility of things that it currently offers. This in general offers a ton of things once it has to do with game art. From 3D art to 2D art, concept art, textures, music, sound effects, documents, and of course some feature tutorials. And because we're looking at textures, the second reason why we're selecting this is because this is one of the platforms that has the highest number of textures that you can find on the internet, as this offers 37,000+ textures that you can literally pick up right now and use. And this cuts across various categories, from animals all the way to architecture, building, brick and stone, electronics, equipment, and so much more. So whether you're looking for wood, water, space stuff, object, roofs, roads, all of the kind of textures that you want, especially if you're into games and stuff, you will definitely find them here. And this works in affiliation with some very interesting creators like Flare, Free Game Development, Kenny, Liberated Pixel Corp, and Universal LPC Spreadsheet Generator. And to any of the textures that you want to get, all you need to do is select any of them, and then you can come through right here and see all of the necessary things that you need to know about them, the licensing, the instructions about them, and of course, the fact that you can simply click right here and get them downloaded. And unlike various websites that might require you to sign in, this offers all of these totally for free. And when it comes to character faces and full body texturing, no one does it better than Texturing XYZ. The folks at Texturing XYZ have mastered the art of creating high quality facial texture maps that you can use for any kind of character. Although the thing with this one is most of the things that you get here are paid. So if you're looking for high quality textures, of course you'll be able to find them here. So these textures come with both the displacement, the ambient occlusion, all of the maps that you want. You will definitely find them here, and they're super realistic and high quality. Other things that you might want to know is that there are add-ons for these, which you can actually come through and check out. So if you like to take a look at some of the add-ons, they do have add-ons for a couple of programs which you can actually get for free. However, getting the main textures themselves is something you have to pay for. So whether you're looking for body displacement maps that you can work with, or micro skin 1 or micro skin version 2, these things are available. There's also a couple of material collections that they have, which includes fabric, and you can see the different kinds of fabrics that they have right here. We've also got animals. If we go ahead and check out wrinkles, you can also see that we have different kinds of wrinkles that we can apply to our fabric. So in case you're looking for high quality human textures, or maybe you're looking for extra textures or displacements that you can work with, these are good ones that you can explore. Interestingly, you can also find cool stuff from the folks at 3D.sk, and similarly to what we have with Texturing XYZ, they do have human textures and models alongside. One cool thing that they've also added here is the free tier. So within the free section, you will be able to get some free stuff. So maybe you're looking for human characters, or maybe you're looking for like a quick mesh that you can work with. Can simply come through and check them out. You can also explore some free stuff like the free references packs as well, and all of these are currently the free things that they offer. A nice honorable mention would also be the folks at 3D Scan Store, and these folks are responsible for creating some of the high quality 3D scans that you've seen across the internet, and they do have high quality texture maps and displacement maps. So if you're looking for texture maps, possibly facial texture maps, you can come through and check out these ones that they have here. These are very high quality ones. They're super clean and really cool. You can grab them. If you're looking for displacement maps as well, or displacement textures that you can work with, you can also come through and explore them. If you go over to their free section, they do have a free base mesh, which we've talked about on the channel before, and this free base mesh comes with a free texture, and you can work with these in both ZBrush, Blender, Marmoset Toolbag, Substance Painter, and so on. So all of these are currently available. You can also explore the meta-human identity and texture, which is also free. So these are the free things that they currently have, and you might want to consider checking them out if you'd like to try out some of the stuff that they have before you make a purchase, or even explore other things that they currently offer. Texture Max is a completely interesting website that offers a huge number of both textures and reference, as this is a high quality resolution texture and reference photography database. And this offers a truckload of things, which includes a variety of stuff. In fact, this cuts across 30 interesting categories that includes abstract, animals, bones and x-ray, bricks, building, clothing, concrete, containers, and so much more. And these textures alongside references are currently available on this website for free, although there's a caveat to it, which we're going to talk about later. Now, the cool thing with this one is to any of the categories that you select, there are subcategories that actually buttresses the idea of what you're going for. So for example, if we go over to metal, we can go through to say maybe coins, and right under where we have coins, we do have a couple of coins that we can select. So for example, if we like to have the Alpha Max, we can have that selected, and then we can go into the Alpha Max versions of the coins that currently exist and see all of them. Now you can hover across all of these to see what they look like in high quality, and you can also proceed to download them. You're definitely going to see this pattern repeated across every other thing. For example, if you go over to the fabric section, which currently has 1,130 entries, we can go over to the leather section, and right within the leather section, we'll also have a ton of different kinds of leather textures that we can pick from. So if we're looking for a specific kind of leather, we can actually go in and explore the subcategories that these offer. And you can go through and check out so many other ones that you can find here, from buildings, all the way to clothing, to terrains, tiles, wood, windows, weapons, and also wrinkles. So there are a lot of textures that you can get right here, and these are super great. Now the thing with this is you cannot download any of these unless you are logged into the website. All textures and reference that you have here are all CC0. However, you can only download 5 textures per day, totally for free. And if you'd like to download more, there are also paid options that supports that. And if you're looking for more textures with a good number of categories, then Texture Labs is also another amazing place where you can find a good number of textures. Texture Labs does not only offer textures, they also offer texture tools, which includes Texture Lab tools that you can use for various DCC tools. However, if you're looking for just textures that you can work with, which you can literally get totally for free by the way, you can go ahead and check these ones out. And these categories includes atmosphere, bricks, concrete, detailed stuff, fabric, film, glass, grunge, ink and paint, lens effect, metal, paper, sky, soil, stone, vector, water, and also wood. At the same time, they also have a collection of stuff which might be more targeted to those who are looking for nicer and also more interesting textures that they can work with as collections. And just like we looked at with Texture Max, Texture Sky also offers subcategories alongside the things that you can find right here. In terms of size and quality, this offers variations which include small, medium, large, and also extra large. And all of these can be downloaded and you can literally go ahead and start working with them. And if you're into architectural visualization, or possibly you're just into architecture, then you may have heard about SketchUp. Now, the cool thing is if you go over to sketchuptextureclub.com and go over to the textures section, you're finding a lot of textures right here. Now, these textures include PBR textures, which you can use for those who are working in games and stuff like that. Then we've got architectural textures, which contains 16,000 plus textures, which are super amazing. Then we've got the material textures that comes with 4,000 textures. These are very cool textures across various categories. Then we've got the natural element texture, which is about 1,361 textures. And for those that are into references or possibly you're into backgrounds and landscapes and stuff like that, we've got 793 textures. And all of these are texture files that you can literally just come through and look up for yourself. So for example, if you go over to the architecture section and maybe you're looking for bricks, if you're looking for colored bricks, there's also different kinds of colored bricks as well. In this case, we're selecting rustic, and you'd also notice that inside of rustic, there is a lot. So the same thing can be seen across different categories. Now for rustic, for example, if you like to download this, you can see what this looks like when it is being rendered, which is really cool. This is a 4K map, by the way, which is pretty impressive. So for you to actually have this one, you need to log in. So you require free login for you to be able to download this. So once you come through, you can log in and download it. Now, if you like to get like the super high quality one, that would require you to become, like a club member. But if you're a free user, then you can just simply get the 1K-ish version of whatever maps that you want, which is pretty decent. Now, the only thing is, this doesn't come with the extra normal maps and all that stuff. So I'm going to put a few tools like this and also like this other one, which you can use to bake different types of texture maps from one diffuse map or from one color map. So with that out of the way, you can now come through and explore all of the textures that currently exist with this one. And because this is SketchUp, you also have access to 3D models as well. So 3D models are also available as well. So there's just a ton of 3D models which you can find here, which you can work with. Now, to all of these 3D models, you need to log in for you to be able to download them. And for those who might be thinking, now that we have the SketchUp file, can we use them in tools like Blender and stuff? Yes, you can, because we already talked about a free Blender plugin, which you can use to do all of that. So you can download these, bring it into Blender, and use them however you want. Of course, we've also covered V-Ray. So just in case you're thinking about how can I work with these alongside V-Ray, we've also talked about V-Ray on the channel before, which is pretty interesting. So simply go ahead and check that out. So whether you're looking for models or you're looking for textures, which is originally why we're here, you're definitely going to find a good number of these. And of course, some very cool stuff right here. Ambient CG is a versatile platform that offers a ton of free stuff for 3D creators that are looking for an all-around website with a good number of assets. Of course, there's a couple of other websites that offers these services as well, which we're going to mention as we proceed. And Ambient CG stands out as one of the ones that you might want to look at, and the way this one works is pretty interesting. So for example, you're looking for metal, you can simply have that selected, and you can go ahead and actually see the rendition of what this metal would look like if you rendered them with HDRIs. So you can go through and select any of them that you would like to download, and you can see a variation of sizes and also file format that this offers. And if you proceed to download any of them, say for example we download the 2K JPEG, you can see that this downloads not just the texture itself, but also downloads the Blender file where this texture was actually made or put together, and various texture maps that you can work with, from the displacement to the metalness, the normals, and also roughness. and these can be seen across all of the textures that they have. And to find the textures, you can simply go over to the type and category, and down here you will find all of the textures. So you can simply go through and scan for any of the textures that you're looking for and work with them. Also, you can click on the 3D section and find 3D models that you can work with. Currently, this has about 39 3D models. And for environments, in case you're looking for HDRIs and stuff, they have about 382 HDRI assets that you can pick up. Another cool website that also offers a good number of stuff like this one is the folks at 3dtextures.me, as they offer over 1,300 plus assets right here. So you can find a good number of assets that deals with a lot of things, from abstract all the way to concrete, down to rubber, sand, soil. All of these, they do have them right here. And you would also notice that they've been rendered in such a way that you can see exactly what you're dealing with. So if you select any of them, you can actually tell what the texture will look like. And you can see that this offers different texture maps that you can work alongside. The textures right here, for example, this one is a 1K texture, which is pretty decent for anything that you're trying to work with. At the same time, they do have other cool stuff right here, which you can also go ahead and explore. Interestingly, you might also find more stuff like this with the folks at Poliigon, as Poliigon is an amazing place where a ton of 3D artists find amazing assets, and almost every single week, this gets updated with new textures and of course new materials that you can work with. Currently, they offer over 792 textures across 9 beautiful categories, and you can simply go ahead and select any of the ones that you want. For example, for trying to find fabrics, we can have that selected, click on any of the fabric, and see what it looks like rendered. Another cool thing you'll find here is that we have them as flat surfaces, and they have all of their maps and see it in 3D. And right here, you have the option of downloading these in different file formats, which includes Material X, GLTF, Blender, and zip file. This also offers various texture sizes as well. And just like most of the websites that we've just talked about, you can download these totally for free. They also have some cool stuff, which includes the models and of course some HDRIs. And for those who will just want to have these directly inside of Blender, they do have an add-on that you can literally go ahead and pick up right now and get this working right inside of Blender instead of going to the website and downloading these textures one after the other. Now, before we talk about most of the other ones that you can get for both free and also paid, let's talk about Texture Log. Originally, this website is Japanese, and you need to simply translate everything to English for you to actually get on with it. This website offers both handmade textures and also AI-generated texture. Now, depending on what you're looking for, you're definitely going to find something right here. Now, anyone that was generated or made with AI gets to be written here as AI generated, while the organically made texture, you get to see them without the tag AI generated. Which makes a lot of sense, as most people may not necessarily want to declare if something was made with AI or not, and this is one place that I do give them a thumbs up. So depending on what you're looking for, certain things like this might definitely be useful for you. So whether it's AI generated or not, in this case, you might just be looking for a button that you can use to fill up a texture in a specific place, and this might just come in super handy. And the textures that you get here are very interesting. So for example, if you want to download any of these textures, this is just typical texture downloading like we had with the very first set of places that we talked about. So if you like to download any of these, you can either choose to log in, or you can just go ahead and hit the download button and download it. Every single thing that you have here is commercially available for use, and you can simply go ahead and use them for your personal projects as well. Panda.org is also another nice place where you can find a good number of cool stuff, and this includes textures, scratch marks, HDRIs, and also material packs. Right now, you'll be able to get these from here, and if you go over to the material place, you'd also be able to find materials for Cinema 4D, which you can plug into libraries, and you also have like the multi-purpose materials. Now, these materials are divided into various sections, from the wood material pack all the way to the wall material pack, stone material pack, paper material pack, Paper 2 material pack, and dirty concrete material pack. For the scratch masks, you do have a couple of nice masks that you can download. Now, these will be super useful when you're trying to add a bit of scratch, wear, and tear on your 3D model. So these all comes as 2K maps, and they're super seamless, which means you can tile them severally and get very impressive results. And all you need to do to download is to click on the download button and download it. This is totally free and does not require any form of login. For the HDRI section, they also have a good number of HDRIs that you can work with. So these are very nice ones, and I would definitely recommend them for anyone. And if you're into creating Minecraft related stuff, then you might want to consider taking a look at the texturepack.com. So if you're into pixel artworks, then you might find this one super useful. You also have different styles that you can pick from. So whether you're looking for realistic texture packs, simplistic texture packs, medieval, modern, fantasy ones, Christmas texture packs, you do have all of them right here. And these alongside a couple of other things you'll be finding right here. The texture resolution includes 8-bit texture packs all the way to 1K. So you can actually find stuff based off the resolution. So if you're looking for like 8x8 stuff, you can find them. If you're looking for maybe like 64x64 stuff, you're also going to be able to find them right here. And of course, if you're looking for high resolution stuff that actually deals with 1K, you'd also be able to find them. And to any of them that you like to download, all you need to do is just click. It's going to bring you right here where you can click on download links. It brings you all the way down here and you can download these texture packs. All of these are totally free. CG Bookcase is a very interesting website that has a bit of finesse to it, and this comes with 566 high quality textures, all CC0 by the way. Now the cool thing with this one is you can find your textures by using colors. So maybe you're looking for a red texture, you can literally just click on that and find the texture. So unlike the other ones that you have to go through categories and then you get to fish things out, of course this offers that, but then you can find things based off categories. Maybe you need something dark, or maybe you need something bluish, or possibly you need something that is a bit more greenish. You will definitely find them by just simply clicking, and this would solve all of that hassle of actually scrolling through to find these things yourself. Of course, this is a website that is constantly developing, and hopefully we might be seeing more stuff in the future. Another thing that you find here is you have different resolutions that you can select from. So from 1K, we can filter these all the way to 2K, and we have only 2K assets right now. If we go over to 4K, we're only going to be having 4K assets, and we can crank this up to 6K and 8K. Once you select any of the files that you like to download, you do have a preview section where you can literally go in and preview what you're about to download. And then you'll also notice that you have all of the possible maps that you want to get from here. Shared Texture is also an interesting website that offers both 3D models alongside textures, and the textures you find on Shared Textures have been growing. And right now they have over 1,700 plus textures that you can pick up and do very impressive things with. Shared Textures are one of those websites that showed up as completely free for assets that you can work with. We did cover them earlier in the day, and it is quite interesting to see that they do have a combination of stuff that we've seen on some of the websites that we've just mentioned. So right here, you can find stuff based off color as well. So if you're looking for stuff based off color, you can use the color tag to literally find anything you're looking for. And you can actually go ahead and go into the search category and find stuff. So if we type in the word wood, we find all the textures that has to do with wood. And if we're trying to find stuff based off individual categories, we can actually go in here and find them. It's also quite interesting to know that this offers atlases and also models as well. So for the textures, which brought us here in the first place, if we're thinking about working with any of these textures, we can download them and work with them. So for example, if I want to get the camouflage, I can click on that. And right over here, you'll notice that we've got the resolution sizes that exist from 1K all the way to 4K. Or we can definitely just go over to the Google Drive and download these. These, just like most of the ones that we've just mentioned, also comes with different kinds of maps. One thing which is also pretty cool with this particular one is if you scroll all the way down, you now see similar looking textures. So maybe you're looking for different kinds of camouflages, you can now go ahead and select them and see them from here as well. So it is quite interesting to see that this has a good number of things that you can work with. Plugin, this has a plugin for Blender and also Unreal Engine. Another interesting website that also offers an add-on alongside a good website where you can download lots of textures alongside 3D models are the folks at TextureCan. And so the folks at TextureCan, they do have 650 plus textures across 13 categories that are looking pretty cool. So these are very cool and nice textures, and you can literally go through all of these individual pages to check them, or you can simply select any of them and preview what they look like prior to downloading. The good thing with this one is it gives you a good description of what you're actually dealing with, and also offers you a good number of stuff that deals with the maps alongside the substance file, just in case you like to download the substance file and make some corrections and tweaks yourself instead of applying them natively the way they are once you download them. So any of the ones that you download, you also have all of the maps. So whether you're looking for, the normal map, the roughness map, the height map, the displacement map, the albedo or color map, or even the ambient occlusion map, you have them right here. At the same time, you can go over to their 3D model page where you can find a good number of free 3D models as well that you can download. And like we mentioned earlier, if you work with Blender and possibly you're looking for an add-on that connects texture can, possibly Ambient CG, I believe, alongside 3D textures, then you might want to consider taking a look at these add-ons, as these add-ons actually plug right into this website and you can work with the textures directly inside of Blender instead of coming over to their website and checking them out for yourself. Either ways, if you want to check these things out yourself, you can literally come through and explore all of them, as they do have nice and amazing offers that you as a 3D artist or even as a 2D artist would love to work with. Texture Ninja is also another impressive place where you can find over 5,106 textures. These texture files are definitely useful for both game development, texturing your 2D paintworks, and also using them in 3D. So if you're looking for textures for leaves and stuff, you're definitely going to find them here. For those looking for textures for signs, there's a good number of sign gauges right here, so you can find them. If you're looking for like cracks as well, there's a good number of textures for crack. We do have some dirt as well, so these are very cool ones. The graffiti is also something that is pretty natural that you might want to find in some places to actually create that sense of realism. And in most cases, for imperfection, you might be needing fingerprints. For covers and manholes, they have a good number of covers right here, which you can pick. And they've also got like the woods. Different kinds of woods are currently available right here. Different kinds of stones are available as well. And you can go on and find cool stuff right here. And downloading this is also pretty simple. Select anyone you want, click on the download file, and have it. F.PBR.T texture is also a very nice texture hub where you can find 600 plus textures across 13 beautiful categories, and these textures are made with intention of PBR texturing. So you can literally just go in and find any of the ones that you want, especially if you're into PBR texturing and then you're looking for textures that you can use for your PBR workflow, then this might just do the job for you. Now, one cool thing with the F.PBR.T texture is this, that you do have specific downloads based on various tools. So right here, we've got one for Blender, Unreal Engine, and also Unity. Most of the textures that you get here are 2K, and it just simply makes sense that you do have a PBR texture that is now made into a material which is ready to go for you to just pick, plug into your DCC app, and start working with them. BlenderKit is also another cool resource place I believe a lot of creators would love, and this has a lot of things, as it comes with a lot of textures alongside materials that you can work with, and I think these things are just grouped into the same thing called materials. And by default, I think this has the largest number of models that you can find for a tool plugged into a DCC app, as this offers over 63,900 assets which creators can work with, alongside materials that offers about 28,000 materials that you can simply pick up and do amazing stuff with. For HDRIs, they do have HDRIs, scenes, brushes, and all that. Now, the cool thing is this comes with free stuff, and that's what putting it in this category. It does have a bit of a paywall, but for free assets, you do have access to about 53,000 free assets that you can work with, which is super amazing. So far, so good. As we've been scrolling, you've just been seeing free plans, free plans, free plans. And this means that for you to be able to work with this, you need to have an account. So with this, you can actually go over to the materials section and find a ton of materials. These are high quality surface materials that you can use with both cycles and also Eevee. So for materials, you can just simply go through and work with any of them. Now, one thing which you might also notice is most of the materials that these are offering are coming from some of the websites I've just mentioned. Websites like Sheer Texture, websites like Ambient CG. So if you're just looking for a tool that sort of aggregates most of these things that you can use totally for free right inside of Blender, then of course the BlenderKit is an amazing resource, as it does come with this add-on that gives you a lot of access to most of these things that you might be needing. So whether it's model, material, HDRI, scenes, brushes, or even some printable stuff, you will be able to work with them right inside of Blender totally for free. Archive Texture is a beautiful place where you can find over 3,500 high quality cool textures that you can use. Archive Textures offers a good number of textures, so you can find a good number of these textures right here. 3,500 is huge, and having these available totally for free is also super impressive. Everytexture.com is a pretty cool place, and the cool thing with Everytexture.com is the fact that it offers thousands and thousands of nice cool textures that you can get for free. Nothing outside the ordinary, but variety, like they say, is the spice of life, and this offers textures across various categories. So if you're looking for textures that has to do with, flat and just the rough surfaces, you're definitely going to find them right here. So if you're looking for like forest floors, gravel, green, food, dirt, dead tree, earth, cloth, cold, all of that, you will find something right here. So if we go over to the chart section right now and simply pop that open, you'd also notice that we've got a good number of textures. So we can definitely select them and go through the textures and see exactly what we're having. Now, these offers different variety of stuff. Now, this is a CC0 stuff, so it is free for personal use as well, and also free for commercial use. Every texture offers seamless textures for anyone, and the cool thing is this offers about 2 to 4K texture map. To download these, you need to click down here and download all of them, or you can download individual texture maps. And the cool thing with this is all of the textures are all seamless, and everyday texture just gives you the everyday textures that you see, but with a spice of making those maps available for you, so you can just plug and play and start doing stuff. So if you're looking for digital stuff or fabric related stuff, metal stuff, paint stuff, paper stuff, rock, plastic, pavement stuff, you're definitely going to find them right here. For those who are into Material X, then you may have heard about the AMD GPU Open Material X library. So instead of spending time converting your materials to Material X, you can simply come through and grab all of these materials and start using them in your next generation DCC tools. So we know that Blender is beginning to support some of these things, and for sure we already talked about the fact that tools like Pixar Render Man, V-Ray, and a couple more tools are beginning to support Material X. So in this case, if you're looking for Material X materials or even textures that you can use alongside, then these are nice ones and you can find them super handy. Render Hub is an interesting place where you can find lots of assets and resources. If you're looking for textures, if you click on the Marketplace button, you can literally go over to the asset type and select textures. And from there, you will be able to see free textures. Just in case you don't see free textures, just simply turn the price from whatever value it is to price low. That way, you'll be able to see free textures all the way down. Render Hub is a very versatile website which contains a lot of things, and for sure there are free and paid stuff that you can get. But in terms of free stuff that you're looking for, there are a ton of free things that you can come through and grab. Now, at the same time, you can also find free 3D models. So just in case you're into free 3D models, maybe you're looking for free 3D models, you can check that out. If you go over to the Marketplace, literally every kind of asset that you're looking for, both 2D, 3D assets, you will be able to find something free. You can also explore their skin references and textures, and most of the skin references that you find here, or should I say most of the skin textures you find here, are paid, but you do find high quality ones here as well. And similarly to Blender Kit, Render Hub is a marketplace. Because this is a marketplace, you can actually go ahead and search for stuff based on a specific DCC app. So for example, if we're looking for something that is totally related to Cinema 4D, we can click on that, and all we're going to find are assets, resources that are tied to Cinema 4D. And of course, you can see we have a lot of them that are free. The same thing can be said for tools like Maya. So if we have that selected, you can also see that we have a ton of tools and stuff right here that we can use for Maya. Now, because this is a marketplace, a lot of creators get to put their stuff here, which you can actually get for free. As much as the folks at Render Hub are also contributing to stuff that you get here, making it the marketplace just opens it up for lots of creators to find visibility through their platform. Now let's talk about some places that have cool stuff, but with a bit of a paywall. First off, CG Axis. CGAxis.com is a place where you can find nice, cool, high quality models. Currently, they do have 12,382 exclusive PBR materials, HDRIs, and 3D models. And you can actually go ahead and browse through all of these cool stuff. Now, the thing here is not all of them that you can browse through are downloadable for free. So if you're looking for stuff, of course, you can come through and find cool stuff. But then if you're looking for free stuff, make sure to turn on this toggle where you'll be able to find free stuff. So for the free stuff, you do have a good number of free stuff, to be honest, because these cuts across various things. So from 3D models to textures all the way to materials, you would find amazing stuff from the folks at CG Axis. So for those who are looking for nice, cool stuff, maybe you're just looking for something that you can play with, or maybe something that you can use to push the realism of your scene even a bit better, you will find these ones right here as they're looking extremely nice. Poliigon is an interesting platform that offers a huge set of resources, and these resources spans both textures, models, and HDRIs. Now, most of these are also behind a paywall, but then there are also cool stuff that you can do with this. If you go over to the free section, you will find out that you have access to 100+ free stuff that you can work with, which is also really cool. And all of these are nice stuff. For example, if you're just looking for flaky donuts, okay, that is nice. You can go ahead and grab that. If you're just looking for stuff like tiles, you can find them right here. And if you're looking for more stuff like this, you can also check them out. And to download any of these ones is also pretty simple. You click on the download button, it brings you right here, and you can simply just go ahead and download it. And of course, you would notice it comes with all of this, including an ID map. Now, ID map was not specified in most of the ones we mentioned, but this offers you an ID map, which makes sense because it also caters to a lot more DCC tools than most of the ones that we've mentioned. Another thing which you would notice, this puts the physical size of literally any texture that they're making. At the same time, it also offers various resolution sizes from 1K all the way to 8K, making it super interesting for anyone who is looking for something that is more detailed and fits the real world even better. Textures.com is also a great place, and it offers cool stuff as well. Now, Textures.com offers a couple of tiers, which includes the free tier and also the paid tier. Now, if we go over to the free section, there is a mix of stuff that you can find here. So within the free section, you do have a mixture of textures, HDRIs, atlases, and also 3D models. So for any of the texture you would like to get for a use case example, if you have them selected, you will be able to download the substance file, or you can come through and download the individual maps. So maybe you'll need like an albedo map, a height map, a normal map, roughness, and of course, an ambient occlusion map. You can come through and download individual one of these. So for any of the things you'll be downloading, whether it's the free one or the premium one, whether it's the HDRIs, the models, having an account is essential to work with Textures.com, and it is one of those places where you can find high quality textures as well. And it is pretty interesting the number of things that you can get right here. And some honorable mentions for this video includes the folks at Texturify. So Texturify is a place where you can find nice, cool texture assets and free HDRI skies. And this is across different categories. And just like we have with most platforms, these are fully royalty free, and you can simply click on the download button to grab them. It is interesting to see that there's a lot of things that you can get on this one. And for those that are looking for more stuff, you can check that out. TextureLibrary.com is also a nice one for anyone that is looking for more location textures that they would like to get totally for free. So this one as well offers you different kinds of textures that you can find on a day-to-day basis. So in case you're looking for things like grunge, metal, paper, plaster, maybe some debris you like to apply them on the floor, or you use them as a form of texturing, you can have those, and you can simply scan through all of these ones, have them selected so you can come through and download them. Textures like this are being offered at 2 different high resolutions. So depending on what you're looking for, you can definitely come through and explore these ones. TextureBox is also another nice place where you can find super cool stuff. TextureBox is also having a bit of a paywall thing, which deals with both free and premium stuff. So for the free asset, once you come through, you can find a good number of free assets, which cuts across the couple of categories as well. So you can filter these things and also work with them. They're pretty nice, but I don't think they are as much as what you get with most of the other websites that we've mentioned earlier. Now, if you'd like to see a comparison between what you're going to be getting for free alongside what you'll be getting with paid tiers, these are the tiers right here, and you can explore them for yourself. These are amazing, and you can simply go through any of these places and find cool stuff. TextureBox also offers an add-on, just like most of these other ones, and it is nice to see that these are currently available. So this is it. There's a ton of places that you can find high quality 3D models at this point. And for those who are thinking about checking these ones out, maybe you're into 3D texturing, or maybe you're into modeling, or possibly you're just looking for textures that you can work with and do some amazing stuff. We've covered quite a good number of these things, and I think one of these must have piqued your interest. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Link to all of this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.